In this video, we're going to go exactly why and how you can fix years of low back pain in just 10 minutes a day. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Elijah, and over the past 8 years, I've helped thousands of people with their lower back pain. And one thing that I see very often is this common misconception. And it's that a lot of people think that fixing their low back pain takes 30 to 60 minutes a day. They think that the more stretches and the more exercises they do, their back pain will just suddenly disappear. And honestly, this belief alone stops a lot of people from getting started, because 30 to 60 minutes a day, it's a big ask, especially if you're someone who's very busy. And the truth is that it doesn't need to take that much time. You just need the right movements specific to you and your pain patterns, because not all back pain is the same. Back pain that gets aggravated from sitting, driving, and bending needs a whole different approach compared to back pain that gets aggravated when standing for long periods of time and walking. So yes, 10 minutes a day can be enough to help with your lower back pain, but it needs to be specific to you and your pain patterns. It's kind of like using a GPS. If you're trying to get from point A to point B, but you don't know where you're going, you'll end up driving around for hours and hours and hours, and you'll still end up lost and not at your destination. But if you put the destination into the GPS, you'll eventually get there in the fastest time possible and in the most efficient way possible. Your back pain is the same way. 10 minutes of specific movement will do more for you than an hour of just random movements. Excuse me. There's also another important point as to why 10 minutes a day is more effective for your back pain compared to 30 to 60 minutes. And it's that if you believe that fixing your back pain takes 30 to 60 minutes a day, it can be really easy to put off. You might tell yourself, oh yeah, I'll do it later. I'll do it after work. I'll do it before I go to bed. I'll do it before or later, after this, after that. But eventually that later turns into never. And when that happens, your back pain, it just sticks around, and eventually it gets worse. And then that pain cycle just keeps on going. And again, that's why dedicating 10 minutes a day to your back pain works so well. It removes the friction, which makes it easier to be consistent. And that consistency is what eventually will lead to long-term results. I'll give you an example of this. A client of mine had been dealing with lower back pain for years, and his low back pain was specifically more on his right side. And he noticed that no matter how much he stretched, his hamstrings were always extremely tight. And he was already an active person, so he tried fixing his back pain himself. He went down that YouTube rabbit hole, looking and finding random exercises and random stretches to do, with the hopes of those random movements fixing his back pain, but he got no results. So he eventually got care from a doctor, but after seeing that doctor, the back pain didn't change. So when we first started working together, we didn't add more onto his plate. We just got clarity on his situation. We first started off with a detailed assessment. We first talked about the history of his back pain. We also talked about what aggravates his back pain or makes it feel worse. And we also talked about what makes his back pain feel better, if there's any movements or actions that make his back pain feel better. I then had him send over some posture photos, and we also went over a quick movement screen just to see how his body was moving at that time. And once we went over this assessment, it gave me a great idea to what was happening with his lower back pain, and also it gave me a good idea as to why the things he tried in the past weren't working for him. And since he was already doing a lot of exercises, I didn't want to add more onto his plate, because by doing that, it would increase friction. So all I did was I gave him 2 exercises to do to perform daily. The first exercise was a 90-90 decompression drill, and the goal of that was to take pressure off his lower back. And then the second exercise I gave him was a simple hip hinge. And the goal with that hip hinge was to teach his body how to bend properly, and it also strengthened his hamstrings and also strengthened his glutes as well. And after about 2 weeks of doing those 2 exercises every single day, he messaged me and told me that his back pain was 90% gone. 90% gone, which is pretty insane, given that his back pain, he had been dealing with his back pain for years, and he just kept spinning his wheels. So that's why I believe in this idea so much. The idea of that it takes only 10 minutes dedicated to fixing your lower back pain. The 10 minutes is way more effective than the 30 to 60 minutes, because it's not about doing more, but it's about doing the right things for you and doing them consistently. And if you're someone who is dealing with lower back pain and you're unsure on what those right movements are, I might be able to help you. We'd start off with an assessment, and we would look at how you move, what aggravates your back or what makes it feel worse. And we also talk about what makes the lower back pain feel better. We'd also go over your day-to-day life, so then the plan that you get, it can be integrated into your life and not take you away from your life. And from this assessment, you would get a custom plan with the right movements that are specific to you, your back pain, and your pain patterns. And if that's something that interests you, all you have to do is click the link in the description. But the main thing I want you to take away from this video is that fixing your back pain doesn't have to take so much time out of your day. You just need more clarity on what's right for you, and it needs to be something you can stick to. And from there, you'll be well on your way to living a life with no more back pain. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.